What's going on, everybody? This is Mark with Hindsight, and I'm going to do a walk around video of my 1968 Plymouth Fury Convertible. First off, let's just take a step back. I think this car has really nice lines to it. She's a big girl at 213 inches or 17 and 3/4 feet long. She's a big girl, but I actually think this vehicle was designed to look as big as possible. Notice how the front fender is integrated with the front bumper. Also, if you look at the fenders from the front, you can see they go higher than the hood does. So to me, the design was to make it look as big as possible going down the road. I believe this was the last year for the boxy styling. The following year in '69, they did a redesign, and I think they called it a fuselage look. It was definitely more rounded. A majority of the Plymouth Furies were four doors. I feel like in the Mopar world, they kind of got a little underappreciated, maybe. But you tell me. Comment in the comments below of what you think. I feel like this car looks just as good with the top up as it does with the top down. The wheels on them are 20-inch Riddler. I had to go with bigger wheels when I converted the front brakes to discs that the stock ones were rubbing. And word to the wise, if you do something like what I did, where you put rubber bands on for tires, then you just got to know it's going to impact your ride. It is a much rougher ride. The front end is a torsion bar setup, so I can adjust the height with 2 bolts, one on each side, and I can raise and lower at any time. I have noticed on a lot of Furies that rocker trim at the bottom. I don't see that on a lot of cars, and I don't know if that was a package or an upgrade, but I don't see them very often. One thing that I think is special about this car is the size tire that you can fit in the back. This tire measures 11 inches wide, and I really didn't need to do anything to get that to fit, which I think makes the whole back end look a lot better. It's got a little more meat back there. All right, one of the things on the list is, you can see this right here is kind of a mess. This is the way that it was when I purchased the vehicle. And I don't know if you can see, there is a rust hole right in there. So obviously water is collecting, but all of this damage is due to one problem, which is the next thing I want to do on the list. And I'll tell you about it now. Basically, this trunk has a problem lifting. You can see the huge gaps. This gets really close and has, dug in here a couple times. I don't know if you can actually see it, but there is some bends here where my father-in-law and I were trying to repair or to get so that we could lift the trunk. So that is probably first on the list. It has damage on the other side, but it's mainly just bodywork, and as a result of this problem. And I will show you one of the things that the guys love to give me a hard time about is that I have no hinges, no springs. It is mere dead weight of the hood. But this hood it has to weigh over 300 pounds. I've driven it thousands of miles, and I have never had anyone say they could see this thing move an inch. So it's actually quite convenient. You can lift it up at any time. As you can see, the body work isn't too bad. There's quite a bit of work to do. This panel here is not very straight. Just looks like some surface rust in the quarters. I did have this appraised once where he came by with a tester where you could see if there was any Bondo, and he was actually surprised at how much or how little Bondo there actually was. So the trunk's gonna get work soon, and I don't know if you can see Probably can. Yeah, you probably can. It's got more waves than the ocean. So it definitely needs some attention, but that's really what I bought it for. So if we look at the interior, excuse the mess. Interior's pretty good. The carpet is new, just need to clean it. The seats have been redone, but everything else is the same. The Holley Sniper EFI, I really like that. And everything else is pretty much stock. And the rear seats as well. Definitely needs a clean. Okay. So here is the engine bay. I shaved the firewall, so there used to be a blower here and the AC and heater hoses going through. So I shaved all that, cleaned that up. If I do end up putting an AC, it'll be an aftermarket where I can hide the compressor on the engine. But the engine is a Chrysler 440, bored 40 over. It has forged crank, forged pistons, sealed power, Clevite bearings, 440 source connecting rods, the I-beam style, I believe they call them. It has an Edelbrock top end kit, so RPM heads, performer intake. Edelbrock states that it's 482 horsepower. I don't know. This car will never really go fast, so it goes fast enough. I have a Edelbrock Max Fire distributor. I was hoping that if I got all Edelbrock, I wasn't going to have to worry about the clearance issues between the distributor and the aluminum head, but I was wrong, and I had to do some grinding. It has March Performance serpentine belt. Let's see if I can get a shot of that. So it has a March Performance serpentine belt set up on it with a Tough Stuff high output alternator. Like I said, it has the Holley Sniper EFI, which I love. So there is the Holley Sniper EFI. I have the setup where it has the fuel pressure regulator at the back, so that it regulates the 50 psi needed. So I only have to run one line. I don't need to run a return line, which I really liked, because the less fuel lines that run the length of this car, the better. So I really do like this Holley Sniper EFI. I like the way it is always learning, and it seems to really smooth things out. It has Harlan Sharp rockers on it, and this electric fan. I went with an electric fan setup, and so this is from a Mercedes CL 500 electric fan, and it has the motor off to the side so that you can get the clearance you need. The one thing I do like about this is when I'm at a traffic stop, or if I'm in line to get into a car show, I can idle, and it actually gets colder than if I'm running. So I do like that. The fan definitely works really well when it's idling. The radiator is just a Rock Auto Leland Global. I believe it's a 2-core. I wish I would have gone with the 3-core. And then I am running the Evans waterless coolant, so that just kind of protect my investment, I guess. The bad, you can see it is super dirty. I haven't probably cleaned this inside since I initially put it in 2 years ago. I may have wiped it down a little bit. Oh, and one other thing, I also have Hedman shorty headers on it. I didn't go for the full long headers because TTI makes a beautiful set that will even fit the C-body, which is what this frame style is. But when they get to the collector at the bottom, from what I saw in pictures, it looked like it covered the starter. And for maintenance reasons, this isn't a drag car, so I'm okay with maybe losing a little bit of horsepower, but not having to take off my headers anytime I want to look at my starter. So the good, the bad, the ugly, like I said, super dirty. I want to definitely spend some time cleaning up the engine and getting it back. I think I might, this side might actually have a valve cover leak. Yeah, looks like it's leaking. So I need to address that and get that done. Of course, the wiring is horrendous. I know there's probably some people that are, their OCD is kicking in right now. I just basically wired it up so that it would run and I could get to where I needed to go and make sure everything was good. And so now it's time to redo everything. I would run new wires or new setup anytime I would put something new in, whether it was the radiator or the Holley EFI, you know. So I have, you know, multiple relays right here. I need to get a power distribution panel and get that, you know, get that all wired and diagrammed and put in its place. But that is pretty much it. And I thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and throw some comments. Tell me what you think. Tell me what I need to do on this car. Tell me what you would do, as long as it's not throw it away. All right, so have a good one, everybody.